Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sportsfall Jersey. Joe Archino back here, and it has certainly been a season of disappointment for Manchester City Football Club, and that disappointment continues yet again after a 3-0 loss to Liverpool. And this especially coming after Manchester City had just handed them a loss in the Capital One Cup, winning it on penalty kicks. But really, it's not a surprise because, as we have seen all season, the one kind of line that defines Manchester City is the inability to hold the competitive advantage against any of the top clubs in the English Premier League. And the evidence is in the schedule. 0-1-1 against Leicester. They've lost both matchups against Tottenham Hotspur. Now they have lost both matchups against Liverpool. They're 0-1-1 against West Ham. A draw versus Manchester United this season and a loss to Arsenal. Again, you have to look at those results and then ask the question, are those the results? Is that the resume of a Premier League title contender? And they are not. They are certainly not. If you can't beat the best, you are not one of the best. And it's as easy to figure out as that now. I heard a lot of people discussing this yesterday and a lot of thoughts out there in the media that once Pep Guardiola was announced that he would be taking over Manchester City this summer, and then Manuel Pellegrini would be kind of moving on. This is kind of what distracted them, and that does have truth to it. That is part of the reason. But a bigger part of it is this is a problem that has persisted for longer than that happened. I mean, it's so easy to forget now that Manchester City started the season perfectly. They had 5 wins from 5 and no goals conceded to start their season. Then they kind of bit the injury bug, and that kind of unraveled things, and then things just went and spiraled out of control from there. But certainly the start for Manchester City was perfect. I think the Pep Guardiola coming announcement was something that didn't help, but certainly that's not the be-all, end-all. The big problem here is they're just getting outplayed, and it really comes down to they don't play team football, they don't defend well. There's so many problems with Manchester City Football Club, but at their core, it's that there's a disconnect between the collective players, and I just don't think you see them playing together. You don't see them defending together. One of the problems, I think, why Sergio Aguero really is such a lone gunner is because he just doesn't have the same help that his teammates did. I mean, if you put Sergio Aguero in the same kind of environment where Neymar and Messi and Suarez thrive off of their unselfishness, I think Aguero's numbers could go up exponentially, and he already puts up pretty great numbers, but it really comes down to how do you get the players to get along with each other? Can you make them put the egos aside for what truly matters? And I just don't think Manuel Pellegrini has been able to do that. And it's hard to fault a guy who knows that his future is not with his club. So why would he be stressing himself? Why would he be doing everything in his power? Why would he, when he knows he's just going to be starting another process somewhere else? He'll get another top job. There's no question about that. Strongly linked to many other places. But the task at hand was for City to win the Premier League title, and at this point Manchester City's mind seemed to be focused so much more on next season than the task at hand, and they're not in a good spot right now because right now they're not even in the kind of position where they're going to make a substantial Champions League berth, or at this point they might even fall even more out of the Champions League kind of talk. But right now, the task at hand for Manchester City all season with the Raheem Sterling signing, with the Kevin De Bruyne signing, was always to hold up the Premier League title, and they just won't do that this season. And again, there are many kind of things that come into play here, but I think the biggest of all is just you watch them play, and it's very easy to tell. I think this whole Premier League season, although there has been so much insanity and just the parody, I think it's been rather easy to figure out. The consistency has been shown by some, and it has not been shown by others. It has not been shown by clubs like Manchester City and Arsenal, where it has been shown by clubs like Leicester City. And I think that's the big reason why the rankings are where they are. It's why Leicester City is still at the top of the table and why Manchester City continues to climb down the table. And they have a big, the Manchester Derby Part 2 this season will be coming up before we know it. And right now, those two clubs are kind of going in dramatically different directions. Manchester United certainly hasn't had a pretty season by any standards, but they're starting to kind of find themselves a little bit more. A win against Arsenal. They won again the other day in the Tuesday, Wednesday fixtures. And, of course, it just seems like right now, with the amount of momentum that they have, they're going in the direction Manchester City wishes they were going in. And right now, the future looks bright for Manchester City, but the task at hand seems to be getting away from them even more than it ever has been. But until then, Jersey, Joe Archino here with the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino. And I'll see everybody next time.